Woo! What's going on, guys? Arms Farm coming to you guys today with another video. And today we're going to be talking about Detroit Lions Minicamp. It's right around the corner. I believe it starts tomorrow for a few days, from the 7th until the 9th. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it starts tomorrow. This is what we got going down, and this is what we want Lions fans to keep an eye on. And thanks to guys like Tim Twentyman and Christian Booher for putting this out so we can talk about it and we can see what goes on during these mini camps, and I'll try to report those as well. But this is what we're going to be looking for, guys, and there's a few things on the board that we'll be looking for. Wide receiver competition is one of them. Now it's a strength again in Detroit. We had that before with guys like Kelvin Johnson, Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, Nate Burleson. We have a pretty solid list of wide receivers that have come through this area that have played for the Detroit Lions. And I went through a little bit of a lull after guys left for about a year or two, especially last year. Last year was rough. All those guys, Marvin Jones took off. Marvin Jones went to Jacksonville. Danny Amendola retired. Kenny Golladay shipped over to, took big money from the New York Giants. So went through a little bit of a lull. That wasn't a long lull, but it happened. But now we got guys like Josh Reynolds, DJ Chark, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Khalif Raymond, Quintus Cephas, and then the promising rookie, Jamison Williams, the rookie out of Alabama, guy that might take a little bit of time to get on the field. But those six guys, Reynolds, Chark, Brown, Raymond, Cephas, and Williams, are probably your six guys that are probably going to make this club. Now, what's going to happen with guys like Trinity Benson, Tom Kennedy, Josh Johnson, the UDFA out of Tulsa, Khalil Pimpton from Central Michigan, and then Corey Sutton, Appalachian State Mountaineer. So there's going to be a couple UDFA guys that we got to keep an eye on. We don't really know what's going to happen with those guys. Benson, looking better. Apparently, he was looking better in those short OTAs. Tom Kennedy, haven't heard much about him. Josh Johnson, haven't heard too much about him either. A rookie, Khalil Pimpton, who's making a little bit of noise going on with some route running, looking quick, short area burst, looks solid, and some returning abilities too. And then Corey Sutton, a big body wide receiver. We're going to get a look at these early depth charts. It's going to probably come out real soon. How many reps will these wide receivers be getting? Because, you get the most when your team won. Second team, it starts dwindling. Third team, fourth team, you start getting not many reps at all. So the higher you are in the depth chart, the more reps you will get. But with those limited reps, if you are third or fourth or fifth, however they do it, you better show out right away, and you better make heads turn through the coaching staff, or you're going to be shown the door. So the wide receiver room, man, we got some competition now, so it's nice to hear that. Jared Goff's going to have a lot of weapons. I'm interested in that. Then we got the rookies. You got Hutchinson. Hutchinson's been coming out there. He showed out in early OTAs as well, acquiring a couple sacks. They don't have their pads on, just got the shells, just got the helmets. And so it's like, it's good to hear. It's great to hear that it's great to hear that Hutchinson's going out there and he's kicking some butt and he's doing what he's supposed to do. And he had a couple nice battles apparently against Ragnow and Jonah Jackson, but we didn't hear too much about him going up against Deckers. I think Decker's been a little bit banged up, and we didn't hear much about Sewell in those OTAs. We'll start hearing more and more as it goes along. So interesting to see how Hutch does against the big boys. You got Malcolm Rodriguez in there. He's taken really good to the film study. He's showing it on the field as well. So he's taking that from what he's learning mentally and putting it out there physically. You really love that. And then Pascal, where's he going to fit? I think he's more of a run stuffing guy. He was early on paired up with Hutchinson in those early rookie mini camps. Haven't heard too much about him lately. He still hasn't signed yet. I think he missed last mini camp or OTA. And I don't know if he's a little bit banged up or if they're just trying to get him locked in. Where's Houston going to fit? James Houston, the linebacker. out of Jackson State. He played defensive end last year for Jackson State, acquired a ton of sacks, like 16, 17 sacks, went off. Looks like he's playing linebacker here. Is he going to be a fit? It looks like early he was getting at least second team reps. So that's nice to hear about him. Chase Lucas, the cornerback out of Arizona State. Where's he going to fit? That's starting to get to a little bit of a crowded room as well. Where's he going to fit? Jameson Williams, he's banged up right now. We're not going to see him practicing, not just yet. Kirby Joseph, the third round safety we picked out of Illinois. He's already had a pick. He's already making a little bit of static out there. It looks like a pretty... when I heard him having an interview, I was pretty impressed with him. He seems like a pretty cuckoo dude, but like a level-headed cuckoo, like, you know what I mean? Just he seems like a wild child. He seems like a wild man, but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. He's already had a pick, so I like that. He's making some plays, and then you got James Mitchell, who's banged up as well too with an ACL, the tight end out of Virginia Tech. He's probably going to be ready before Jameson Williams, obviously, because he was hurt real early in his college career last year, 2021. So I think he's coming back soon. So sooner than later, which is really good to hear. Going to be interesting to see where these rookies got a couple UDFAs that we're going to be looking at too as well. The defensive progression, how far are they progressed? Are they going to regress? They're changing the scheme from last year, from a more read and react last year, hitting those gaps. Got to know where your gaps are. Reading and reacting is kind of a boring vanilla defense. Now they're going to more aggressive attacking style, which is something that I absolutely love. Attack the ball, attack the other side of the line of scrimmage, and just try to find the football. That's what I really love. And you ask any defensive player that's ever played the game in the past or the present, and they love the attacking style defense where you can just pin your ears back and go. Jared Goff, how comfortable is Jared Goff going to be? He's really been talking up offensive coordinator Ben Johnson as of late. Obviously, Ben Johnson was a big help last year for Jared Goff, turning around his season a bit. You know, last 5-6 games, Goff was playing probably at a top 10 or better quarterback, and he was playing really well, throwing touchdowns, not coughing the ball up with picks or fumbles, having a lot of swagger, having a lot of confidence to him. You know, there's a lot that went into that with guys like Josh Reynolds, Amon-Ra St. Brown getting better, and obviously Ben Johnson, like I alluded to. Now, what's going to be going on too with the Ben Johnson situation? Is he going to be the play caller? When is Dan Campbell going to make that call? I think we're going to see a lot of Ben Johnson getting the opportunity to make the calls during this little mini camp that's going on in the next day or so. It's his offense. He's tweaking it. He's adding to it. So this is going to be Ben Johnson's offense. Let's see if Dan Campbell can trust him enough to give him the reins. I think he's eventually going to. They're having a little bit of fun with it right now with I think Dan Campbell saying he wanted to see Ben Johnson put 85 on the board before he made a decision in preseason, but I think it's going to come sooner than later. You got the O-line. It's a potential top 5 O-line. I think it's top 10 right now. We were ranked like 13th last year, and not one of the starting 5 played together as a unit, and that's humongous, and they were still 13th. So I think as of right now, they're top 10. I'd put them around 7 or 8. And with the potential to be top 5, I think they could be that good. With the weapons all over the place, adding guys like Cherk, re-signing Josh Reynolds, adding, Jameson Williams to the fold too as well. I think the sky's the limit when you got Hawk, DeAndre Swift, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have the weapons. We have the weapons. So we're going to be able to stretch the field, work the deep part of the field, work the inside, work the middle of the field, work the outside. Hawk's going to be able to eat Swift running routes, Amon-Ra running routes. The weapons are here. So then there's apparently a kicker competition going on too as well. Okay, Austin Seibert though, guy that we picked up last year. He's played for a few teams. I think Cincinnati being one of them. He was 10 of 12 on field goals last year and 5 of 5 on extra points before going down with a hip injury. Sorry. So he was actually kicking the ball pretty well. We were going through some things, man, with kickers the last year or so. It was just kind of a mess. Found Siebert. He was doing well, and then he got hurt, and then we had to go again. Search the wire. Ended up snatching Riley Patterson off the Patriots practice squad, and he was money. He was 13 of 14 on field goals and 16 extra points good, 16 of 16. So that's really nice to hear that. He even added an NFC Special Team Player of the Week at the end of the year. So Dave Phipp, the special teams coach, looks like he might have some tough decisions, but I'm going to put my money on Riley Patterson. I think he's probably cheaper too as well. And then you got the injuries, kind of didn't really talk about it too much, kind of just alluded to it. But guys like Jeff Okudah coming back, Romeo Okwara, and Cephas are all ahead of schedule apparently to come back. Those guys at least got hurt a little bit. It was before week 5, I believe. So they're on track to make it for week 1. So you're going to see those guys back earlier than expected. Guys like, Jameson Williams, a rookie, he's going to take a little bit of time. So if you're waiting for him to come back on these camps, you're going to don't hold your breath because it's not going to happen. But guys like Okudah, Romeo, and Cephas are all on track to come back and way ahead of schedule. That's a good sign right there. Then you got some positional changes really going on too. You got Will Harris, with Dan Campbell making those remarks, being Dan Campbell, calling him a safety, kind of between a cornerback and a safety. It seems like he's more of a corner now. I think he's going to be bouncing room to room. It seems like, but he's more of a corner. And right now, he's our number 2. He's our number 2 cornerback right now until Okudah or a guy like Jerry Jacobs. Can Malafon will come back and take that number 2 spot? I don't think it's just being handed to anybody. You know what I mean? But as of right now, it looks like it's Will Harris as that number 2, with number 1 being Amani Oruwariye. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. And to end it off, guys, we got some linebacker battles. It's more of a battle than we thought, I think. I think it's still a real heavy weakness on this football team. I really do. The only linebacker 1 that I kind of see right now is Alex Anzalone, and that's not really something to write home about. Anzalone, he had a couple nice games last year, but he looked bad at the same time. So he's not the best linebacker out there, and he's literally probably one of our best linebacker, and that's a little bit of a scary thought. Now, we went out and picked up a guy like Chris Board through the free agency, who was a special team standout for the Baltimore Ravens, and a lot of Ravens fans were actually upset that Chris Board was let go because he was a special team demon, and he apparently had some opportunity this year, they thought, for getting a little bit more playing time. So he's going to get every opportunity in the world in Detroit. Dan Campbell has already kind of said that. I think Aaron Glenn has expressed those thoughts as well too about Chris Board. And then you got Derek Barnes, a second-year guy, who struggled a little bit last year, but played a couple nice games. We brought back Jared Davis. Don't really know what they're going to do with him. Are they going to make him a situational linebacker, maybe blitzing? You're not putting that man in coverage, so he's either coming in on short downs because he is a big dude that's 240 plus pounds. Not the tallest guy, but 6'1", 6'2", whatever he is. But he's got some weight to him. He could be playing some short down and distance, or he could be coming into blitz. So you're not putting him in coverage. That's not what you're going to see Jared Davis do, and I think this regime knows that. Then there was a guy last year that I kind of liked, but who got hurt early, Dion Hamilton, the Alabama product. Bounced around to a couple teams, most notably Washington Commanders. He played for them. Hasn't done a lot in the NFL, but he's going to have an opportunity here. He's a speedy linebacker, undersized though, but he's a speedy linebacker that I'm going to definitely keep an eye on for myself. And then you throw in guys like Anthony Pittman. It's kind of like a hometown product. And then you have Josh Woods, who came in for a few games and was actually racking up tackles. I think he might have had a game or two where he was 10 plus over on tackles. So kind of made a little bit small of a name for himself in that linebacker room right there. So Kelvin Shepard, our linebacker coach, has some thinking to do here, has some work to do. It's not the best room, but there's a lot of guys vying for spots. There's going to be a lot of spots up there that are going to be open, and it's going to be, and according to Dan Campbell, he's calling it a bloodbath. So last man standing, so let's see what happens there. Those are DC's words, Dan Campbell. So it's going to be really interesting, man. But that's what we got looking forward to, guys, coming in this mini camp. And I'm going to try to report what was reported, and we'll talk about it, man. We'll talk about it. We'll put our own spin on it. You know what I mean? And, but shout out to guys like Tim 20Man and Chris Brewer for putting that stuff out there so we can get it going. We can get the juices flowing for 2022, because football, it's getting closer and closer, guys. I can start to feel it now, man. It's starting to get exciting. But that's the video, guys. Thanks for paying attention. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Get all my videos and like and comment, man. Let's talk about it. What are you guys looking forward to? Minicamp. It's a 3-dayer coming up. Let's go. Boom.